Welcome back, and we continue to look at Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. We have the mineral resources which would have made and turned our history different. Our children who are going abroad to look for jobs with the rich minerals that we do have, rich mineral resources, it wouldn't have been the case. Now we come to this point to look at what exactly would have turned our story to be a better one. The government poses to come up with plans, and these plans, the realization seems to be slow. I will recite some of the areas, like Gezi, we have iron ore. And at a certain point, the former prime minister, that is 3 years ago, they came and launched that we are going to begin a factory. Up to them, I'm not seeing a factory. We continue to see lorries, these trucks traveling over the, very weak roads, because in a case of iron ore, it should have been a transaction made on railways. And it's one of the reasons why we continue to lose our weak roads faster. They are not made to carry such a heavy load. Having said that, this has affected both our infrastructure developed, and again, the capacity of the government to take off, it has remained minimal. You may tell me also in your area, retired major, of some other mineral resources that you could employ the government to run faster and maybe work on. Instead of him being importing maybe tiles, we'll be making our own. Instead of talking about glasses, we have all it takes. The capacity of what should be done, especially to bring investors, especially again, I go back to you, retired major, having all that exposure to networks, maybe there should be something to be done best to bring the rightful investors, not only for oil, for around 42 mineral resources of Uganda, and we will create job opportunities, and we will also be able to have the final commodity or product. Let me receive from you, and then you will be able also to give us what is your take on that.
Did you start with Professor?
Professor, what did you say in your area? Let me start with you. I have talked about we having the mineral resource potential and opportunities. They are not exploited. What should be done best if you compare how other countries that you have
I come in since I pushed it to Professor. The thing is, of course, I would once again I start with the institutional framework. We have the Ministry for Mineral, and we state minister there too. But we also have the Mineral Geological, which is in Entebbe. If you go to the zoo,
but are they doing really serious work?
Yeah, if you go to the zoo, that tip that goes inside Lake Victoria is where we have geological. Now, one thing that we should know is that the country is mapped out in as far as minerals is concerned. And that is why we are talking of the number of minerals that we are saying. So it's not only a Rugambo, it is not only Goship. The country is mapped out with high technology. The aeroplanes flew all over the country, mapped out the minerals that are there, and it is true the minerals are there. It's not Rugambo. And if you want to go, find out in Entebbe. For example, if somebody told you a lie that I found gold in a Konakamdini, okay? Instead of wasting your time to go to the lies, simply walk to Entebbe and they will tell you the mapping that no, it is not there. So the truth is we have minerals. Now, your question is, what do we do to develop it? And I think you're asking this because we have talked a bit at length about tourism. So, first of all, we have now the climate area, the political environment and the private sector led also. Because many people were saying government is poor at doing business. So we have now laws in place where the law provides that if a mineral is discovered in your land, what happens? What is the ratio sharing? What is the position of the law? So the law is now clear about that. So knowing that these are high capital investment areas, I think government needs to come up with policy provisions where these identified resources should be extracted, either by calling investors or government taking up interest. Government can do it. Well, of course, we may not do it all at a go. We just have to start priority areas. And we should also not, in my opinion, over-rely on foreigners. Because as you said, in your case, it came up, and up to now, there's nothing. So, the areas that are mapped out, the minerals that are mapped out, the minerals that are known, which government spent money on with high-tech planes to map out this, we should really sit down and start business. Either we call foreigners to that effect, or make public-private sector arrangement. But the truth is, since it is a high capital-intensive investment, a way can be done now. Remember, there's a saying that problem identified, this problem I have. And there's to every problem there's a solution. Even HIV AIDS, only that our mind has not yet clicked the right note. So now that it is mapped out, that's problem identified. And now that we know that it is capital intensive and we need capital, those are still identification of problems. So we need to move in now and have something done. Yes.
I appreciate you in that, but we still need to do a lot. And as I come to you, Dr. Alon, we have faced a dilemma in our country where the mineral resource is not exploited. I said it, I say it again. The reason why the Europeans, the colonists, came to colonize us is because they were interested in our mineral resource. We have gold. I don't know in your area, in your sub-region, what is commonly found there?
Lake Victoria, water.
You don't have water? No mineral resource?
We have.
We need to go to Entebbe to find out.
Soga, we need to go to
In fact, I told me every region there's a mineral. That's another thing. Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing this, and I would like you to see your take on this. Many business investors, as you're talking about hardware, so forth, one is thinking of going to the Uganda Development Bank, and get maybe, let's say, 5 billion. Few are going into natural resource investment, I mean mineral resource investment. Yet, it would have earned much. By the way, as I interest the viewers, I am talking to businessmen outside there all over the world. Having minerals, including gold, yet we are having few people, few citizens, even as we encourage the local investors, who are going to invest in wolfram, who are going to invest in gold, and they deal in gold. We do not have many. And we also have, as I concurrently stated, few citizens who have registered companies for tourism, few citizens who have registered companies to exploit, to explore into mineral resources. What should be done in order to promote that?
I think there's also this institution called the Uganda Chamber of Minerals and Oils. I may not have what they have done on my fingertips, but I think their role is to promote investment in oil and mineral. We may need at
oil and mineral resource.
Yes. We may need some at some stage. If they are the ones who do the overview, what do you call it, oversight, looking at it, and issuing certificates. So we needed to know how many certificates Uganda oil and minerals chambers. Like you have Chamber of Commerce and Industry, there's Chamber of Minerals and what, which is headed by Ele Karanga.
Yes.
So they have done, but Doctor could have more to say.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Still, I appreciate the viewers and also the colleagues on the panel here. For me, the way I could approach it, I could say that the government should increase the appetite of the local people. That is through awareness.
We don't have awareness.
Yeah, the awareness, because as we approach a problem, we have to aware somebody. If somebody is not aware, how many Ugandans may be aware that we may be having the minerals? That's why I'm talking about we should increase their appetite, that we have
gold,
we have gold, yes.
We have copper.
The water itself, how can we use it in agriculture and all that? I think that is quite important. And then also, yes, we have the plans and all that, but the implementation strategies, so that the person at the bottom accesses. Because investing in minerals, it means this is capital intensive. But still, we can adopt a model I believe possibly the parish development model, I don't know how simplistic it is, because if you don't, you just bring it, I don't know what strategy they used. I don't know whether they used bottom-up approach or top-bottom approach to develop it. Because if you used top-bottom approach, then because it is going to what is going to benefit the one.
Does it have any contribution to tourism?
Okay, that is just a by the way that okay. I'm talking about. I'm just giving an example that we need to raise the appetite of the local people through the awareness and then also quality assurance. That's another thing. Is it that true that if I get my minerals are going to be consumed even locally, we mind about the quality? I think here somebody may go for Renzori and he leaves the other type of water because of what? Because of the quality, because also that one comes in the competition. And then also the government, we need to understand our niche, because the niche, the competitive advantage or the distinct capability that we can do, I think will help us also to sell what we are having, okay, in Uganda. And then also we talk about marketing and the promotion. I think this is where now the ICT comes in, building our local content. Even within here, because some were saying somebody may be in Kampala here, but he doesn't know where Masiro is. That's another thing. So it means there's a problem even within the local content on TV. I don't know what are you putting there. We need to aware all the people from all the corners of Kampala, but of course Kampala has got many channels how maybe people can access this. I think is quite important, and then also plus planning, and then putting a priority. Our policymakers. Like as I'm saying, raising the appetite. We say, please, we need to put money in what? Because the policymakers, the members of parliament have those to say, our budget for this year, 50%. We have seen that minerals, possibly the mineral resources are going to boost the other sector, or is going to be as a pinnacle. That we are going to use in order to realize our economies of what? Our economies of scale. So those are some of the things that we need to think about. But of course, not forgetting the human resource. I think it's quite important that we need to do that. Coordination, I've talked about it, that is the implementation. Okay. The way it is done, that you have there the budgets and all that. We have the types of minerals that we are having, but which people? Thank God, somebody said, in fact, he told me reliably that every region in Uganda, there is what? There's a mineral. Me, I didn't know that this is what is up. Every region in Uganda has got what? So do the people there, the citizens know, the Wananchi know that there is a mineral that you can use in order to make what? To bring a game change in our lives. And another thing, the testimony I can give, that in Uganda, some of us, we are living examples. I think at a time, that was 15 years ago, I needed 500 shillings to change my life. That was a perception. And if there are people, because people have got their perceptions, they're ready to work, they're ready to change. Somebody does not need 100 million to change his life. I think that's what the price model is addressing, saying that we shall be giving. I think some people are looking at smaller money, but that money can be used to change people's lives.
So, Doctor,
lives.
What's your last word to the viewers, especially that can steer us to improve our economic growth in terms of any other sector that you can just say one word, any other sector that can be contributory factor to economic growth apart from tourism and mineral?
Yeah, for me, this is my last word.
Your last ambition.
Okay, maybe before I do give, I could say thank you very much, and also I thank my people from Cavendish University for the viewership they have done, and then also our hosts here. That I think this is my second time of coming, and I'll be ready to be coming, and also my colleagues will be coming.
Thank you.
My emphasis would go to developing the local content. I think is quite important. How can we brand ourselves? Like I said, even local people around Kampala, they know the minerals that we are having. That's another thing. If people are not aware, then
developing the local content is the message. Dr. Alon lives with us, and I believe it needs concerted efforts. It needs a collaboration for all stakeholders. Retired Major, it's a pleasure to receive your last emphasis on a point that I would like to draw your attention to. the investment, the government allocation into improving the tourism and mineral resource opportunity seems to be low, the national budgetary allocation. And our consumption in terms of the expenditure remains to be high in terms of the government, the government expenditure, compared to what it is investing into the mineral resource development and the tourism development. How can we bridge this gap? And as you give us your last also word.
Okay, I'll divide into two. I will comment on that and give my last word.
Yes, sir.
Now, time and again there has been a complaint, and maybe rightly so, that government is spending so much in administrative costs. I think this has been because you really need stability. You need a stable government. And part of that expense, like we have had in defense, in internal affairs, in all this, is because of the need for stability. But I think soon, now the budgetary is shifting to productive areas, not consumptive areas. So it was needed at a given time, but I think we have surpassed that. And that is why over time, even there was a reduction in the size of the army. If it first started with reduction in force, then retirement, and every year now there's retirement. To say, since we don't have war now, we can have a small but very professional army. So, and all that expense is going to be reduced, of course, slowly. People have talked about the size of cabinet, the size of parliament, the size of presidential advisors, and all this. But that will reduce. So more budget will be now directed to production.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but it's noted. Now, on my last word is that we have tourism, we have minerals, which can spur development. Institutional frameworks have been put in place from the ministries to boards, to authorities, to chambers like Chamber of Minerals. It is high time that we direct ourselves into activities, not only policy framework. We should be seen to act. There are small activities which have been put in policies, in positions, in papers, should act. So if we act, these two sources, tourism industry will spur us to development.
Thank you so much. Any other word to the viewer?
No.
Thank you. It has been great to have this talk show. Wherever you are, from the family level to the national level, you must identify the economic opportunities that can make you better at an individual household level and at the country, national level. Having said that, it has been good to be with you discovering Uganda economic potential via tourism and mineral resource opportunities. Thank you. Until next time, this has been The Point with Dr. Joseph Tinjewa. Thank you, our guests, for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah.